how's it going? I'm Nate from GCP Comics, and this is another 2-hour grind video. For today's video, I'm going to be continuing to work on this Darth Malak piece. If you didn't catch the first couple parts, they're posted. They are up there, and it's nice because you can fast forward to parts. So check us out on YouTube. Check us out on Instagram for all the work that we do. It is GCP Comics. It is right over there. Take a look. So last time what I was doing is working on the grayscales for Darth Malak himself. I put him in the warm gray for the suit because the suit's red, warm color. And then I gave some of his like metallic or blacker parts the cools. So this background, I'm going to try some neutral grays, see how that works. Hopefully it'll help pop him forward a little bit. Otherwise, it might not. I'm not 100% sure. We'll see how it goes. I'll talk through my steps a little bit when I start each one. Let me just do this real quick. Boom, 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 boom. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. All right, some Star Wars. So working on this background today, it's really a lot of cool grays usually in their backgrounds, it looks like. Sorry, I was just looking at a couple things to see. So a couple things that you want to keep in mind when you are doing backgrounds. At least one of the tips that I usually use is each plane, right, should be a shade different. There shouldn't be the same plane on two walls if they're not the same plane, right? If they're the same plane, that's fine. But if they're separate planes, so you got a plane going this way and a plane going here, they should be different colors, right? Just a shade different so that it separates. It helps to create that illusion. Now the walls, two walls on both sides could be the same, and then you got the ceiling and the floor, which also could be similar or the same. So you want to like pick one and another and make sure they're different shades of gray just to start with. It looks like in the Star Wars universe, most of the reference pics, I just typed in Death Star interior real quick. It looks like the black or the darker spots are on the floor and on the ceiling. So I'm going to go with that. Lighter on the wall, of course, the wall lights up, so that's going to be the brightest part. I'll actually go in with the white paint pen at the end and hit some of those. I also got the Jedi sitting here. He's going to be some warm grays. He's in this brown outfit, right? So brown is kind of, it can go kind of either way, depending on if it's what colors you mix to get the brown, but it's more of a warm color, so I'm gonna give him more of a warm color for his suit as well. See how it goes. So thanks for tuning in. If you did, awesome. Again, give us a like, give us a follow. They're all right there. I'm Nate, and I'm gonna get started. So I'm gonna go neutral grays. I am gonna be using some Copic markers today. The other day I was using the Prismacolor markers. They both have pretty good, I mean, they both work pretty rad. I just build layers with them, right? Just like I build layers in pencil. It's kind of the way I like to work. It's hard. I'm not that much of a great painter because of that reason. I like to go too dark instead of painting where you want to go the opposite way. You want to put the darks down and then you want to build out of the light, right? So it's a little bit opposite when you paint than when you start with something like this. So I'm going to get rolling on this one. Let's start with this one. Go in and just lay down that first layer. I am changing direction of the marks on purpose, trying to create some areas where they build their own, build layers. So a little bit of darkness in those spots where you get them to overlap. Um, if that hopefully that makes sense. So that's one of the things that you hear about people not liking marker is because they leave streaks. So if you make sure they end at a point at a line or like a point where the light would actually change, you can work around those lines that get added in. And usually if you move fast enough, it should be alright anyway. Now I'm kind of doing the the light gray first for the lightest parts, right? So the door is pretty light. It's got a lot of light in here that are all those are lighting up, so it's going to be shining on that door. The door is going to be one of the lightest areas. The door frame is actually pretty light when I looked at reference photos real quick. So I'll go up a gray for some of the other areas. And you'll build, and I'll just build layers with the gray as well. Sometimes a circular motion can actually help alleviate those lines and those strokes as well. If you're catching this later on YouTube, commissions are always open. I'm always available. If anybody's ever interested, again, all the contact info is here. Look us up. Send a message out. There's currently only like 2 in the queue, so this Darth Malak's just for fun for me. That's why it's taken me a week. Hey, how's it going? So I'm just adding some grayscales to the background on this Darth Malak piece. Hopefully if I do my job right, it'll set back away from him and he'll pop forward a little bit. Same with the Jedi. I'll try to leave some areas where there'll be highlights hitting. Because all the walls in Star Wars kind of have that like metallic look to them, right? So I'll figure that as I build layers with the gray. I'll put those in there. So this whole entire wall is basically going to be that same gray for the first layer. So I just kind of finished it there. So I got this whole wall all the same gray except for the door frame. The door frame is a lighter one, but everything else is all the same to start. I will be going back in and adding another layer of gray on top of it once it dries to try to build the layers of the layers of value, right? Go darker as I add to it. Dog telling me that he wants to go outside, so I might have to take a 2-minute and let that guy outside. I'm going to try to hit this one wall real fast. Yeah, he's not going to let me. Alright, Miles, hang on, bud. Dun, 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 dun. So I'm gonna go in at the last step. I'll really brighten these. I'll give them a just a white outline to really try to make these lights pop out, right? Because they have all these oval lights in the Star Wars universe. So each plane. So this is a different plane, right? Because it's the way the wall sets. So you want to have different shades of gray depending on what plane it hits, right? So that's why I'm adding it. I'm going a much darker, and it's also going to be much darker because the light is there. So the light is actually shining out of that to make that look like it's brighter. I want to make it a little bit darker. Alright, so I'm going to stop at this for a moment. I gotta go take care of a dog. Dog duty is first, and I will be back in a minute. Thank you for stopping by, though. I'm going to keep working on this background, and I will be jumping into my next piece. So Got another gray, add a different gray for the floor. Floor and ceiling are going to be the darkest that I've noticed in the Star Wars universe. So I'll be back in like 2 minutes once I get this dog out and in. I'll have to run back up in a minute to grab him when he comes back. But thanks for sticking around if you did. Gonna continue to try to knock out another layer real quick before he comes back. I was hoping he would be quick. One dog was quick and the other one likes to take a nice walk. He does a whole perimeter check and goes around the whole yard, so hopefully it'll be another minute. Alright, I'm gonna do the it should be a stage darker, right? So remember, different planes, at least this is how I do it, right? It's not necessarily something that works every time, but different plane, so the inside of the wall and then the ceiling of the, right? So I'm gonna go a step darker on that one. I am gonna use the same gray at first, but I will add another layer to make it darker. So I know the one's kind of a little bit off in there, but that's all right. So like I said, I'm gonna go in and outline them with that white acrylic paint pen that I use at the last step. So if it's a little bit off, I'll try to fix it. I mean, it's in the background. It'll be fixed. It'll be pretty close, but I'm not worried about a little imperfection or two here or there. Alright, so which way do I want to do this? Kind of flatten it out. I'm gonna make my lines horizontal, I guess. As horizontal as possible. Usually on the floor, I try to do horizontals. Floors and ceilings, horizontal lines going across to kind of flatten out that plane, right? Trying to keep it as close to those perspective lines that I added in there as possible. So as I was moving around, I'm kind of keeping that same perspective. I know I missed that one corner over there. I'm going to go back into it. There was a harder line right there, so it's all right. If it gets a little bit darker in that one spot, I'm not going to worry about it. I will end up adding more lines over top of the first layer anyway, so... So as I went with that motion, that same direction, right? So when it kind of leaves those extra little lines, it kind of adds to the perspective. So that's what those extra guidelines kind of help sometimes, especially in backgrounds. I mean, at least that's how I hope it works. It might not always, you know, sometimes the direction might be wrong and you got to switch it around. Sometimes doing a couple little cross hatching marks also helps even it out and bring it together for the plane that it's supposed to be on. So like how I set up all the perspective is in that previous video that I have available. And now this is going to be tricky-ish. So I don't want to keep the background gray over far enough. I want to keep a little white outline. So I'm going to try to get that to work as well. All right, so background is getting added in. Kind of digging it so far. Now I'm gonna add cast shadows. Then I add the highlights, and that'll basically be it. So backgrounds, I don't want to render it too much, right? I want to kind of keep, well, I still got to do the Jedi too, but I want to keep him pulled forward, more detail. Like, especially with the highlights, he's going to be the only one with the bright white, except for these lights. Most of the rest of it will have a slight grayscale somewhere, just to help try to pop him forward. He'll have like the brightest part of the whole image. Let's see. Actually, I want the door frame to be that same color almost. There's dog. Ready to come back in. I gotta go get the dog out real quick. Back in 2 seconds. I'm gonna just finish this little area. I'm gonna run and let him in. Oh, the dog is going crazy. Dun, 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 dun. Back in 1 second to continue this awesome DARTH MALAK. All right. So, continuing this grayscale. Hopefully I'll get it enough. It's basically just going to be cast shadows now for the next layer. So for the second layer of gray, it's a little bit darker. I'm not trying to push all the way as far over on the gray that I did for next to the lights as I did the first time. Try to leave a little bit of that light gray or lighter value, right? The lighter value of gray close to the edge. And by the time I do one more little quick layer of it, it should hopefully have maybe a slight tiny bit of like a glowish, you know, it's like a little bit lighter around the edge. All right. So I'm gonna do the same thing on the top side of those lights again. I did it already one time. I'm gonna do it again, but I'm gonna go one step darker on that wall. So I will add a little texture to this wall. Make it look like it's a little bit worn. I actually did this whole entire wall on the other side. Alright, so just building layers of the gray. Basically it. So it's actually getting pretty close to done. Gonna do another layer a little bit darker, go darker gray. dark gray for that one. All right, Star Wars walls. It's coming together. I'm liking this one so far. I mean, in my screen, it looks like they're almost glowing. That's pretty cool. When you get closer, it's not quite as nice, right? But it's supposed to have that illusion that it's kind of got that lighter glow around it. So I'm still going to go in and fix it with the white marker at the end. Alright, so I added a little cast shadow, started up. I'll do one more layer in the background, I think. Just down. Kind of where he would be, maybe. I don't know. I think it's getting close. It's getting pretty close. Gotta hit the ceiling again. And the cast shadow. Didn't realize I was so far off of the camera. Alright. I think I gotta move on to the Jedi and then add those white lines. I think that background's looking pretty sharp right now. Of course, I could keep rendering and rendering and rendering. I don't really see the need to currently, but I'm gonna hit it with some of that white paint pen. Use a little backup. Practice paper. So I like to use the Howto. Sometimes it works really awesome, and sometimes they like to have a mind of their own. Alright. They still might not be like perfect, but that's alright. Getting closer and closer. I don't know if this even shows up what I'm doing. So if you're enjoying any of this content, you know, that would be awesome. Give us a like, give us a follow. Check us out on the other platforms as well. So today I'm just kind of doing the marker thing, so it might be a little slow going. But I think I covered quite a few things while I was doing it. Not that my way is the only way to do anything, right? But it's just one way. And it never hurts to have more tools in the toolbox, so to speak. Especially if you're an artist trying to do your own thing. Now, I'll gonna use a little bit of this in the foreground stuff. Add some texture to the ground with it. I also have like a different brand of these markers which I'm going to use. The white isn't quite as opaque, right? So the Molotov is a really strong white. Usually it can go over top of black and it still stays white. The Unipasco ones, or I guess that's how you pronounce it, I don't know. Not quite as opaque, right? So it's a little bit more transparent when I put it down on top of another color. So I kind of like it for highlights on things at times. So I'm not sure how visible it'll be when I do it, but I can show you, especially on here. So unless I'm running out. I don't know if you guys can even see that, but the one next to the other one, it's like much more opaque. This one's transparent, that one's more opaque. That was the Molotov, and this is the Uni Pasca. It's like, it's just not as thick of a white. So all it's really going to do is lighten some of the gray. So I use it kind of for the highlights on the colored areas. Out. I feel like I'm getting much out of it right now. No fun. Alright, got a little bit. I'll also kind of use this if, you know, you color through an area where you didn't need to. Yeah, it's not working right now. Well, I'll use it for as long as I can, I guess. Just does not want to give me any more pink, I don't think. I needed that. Alright. A couple of areas still need highlights, and that's what I was going to use for their highlights, but I think it's actually, I'm going to have to order some. New white. I didn't want to use it with the bright white, right? So I wanted to kind of use the opaque, or the transparent. So I would have highlighted around the door frame a little bit. I don't want to do it with the Molotov, it'll be too bright. So, but that would be the area. So around the door frame, and then to pop this out as well, that like, I don't know, the extra piece, I don't know, the molding, I guess, of the door, to make that pop out like inside. I would have used the white around that too, but because it's dead, I'm not going to be able to today. So I'm going to order one of those, and I'll do that next time when it shows up. But as of right now, I think the background is pretty solid. It's in there. It's a little bit of a worn Star Wars ship interior. Got Malak in the front. I'm going to go ahead and add some light warm grays to this guy in the background. Ooh, I didn't hit that part of the floor. I guess I can just jump into the dark because it'll be kind of underneath of the fold of the cape. Shadow to this Jedi as well. All right. I think that's about it. So I can get this new pen in. I didn't have a backup. I did not think it was so close to being dried out. Not gonna mess with it right now. Alright. If you tuned in today, I appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by and checking out the 2-hour grind. I am Nate from GCP Comics. You can like us, follow us, check us out, check out my work. I do a bunch of comic books, hence the GCP Comics portion. We have a bunch of titles available out there in the world. If you're ever looking for something cool or new to read and check it out, I mean, try it out. It doesn't hurt. But yeah, so basically, and I did miss one part that I want to go back in and hit real quick. Always available for commissions as well if anybody's ever interested in those. And I'll be continuing to do these live streams, tutorials, how I work, how I do things. So that was that DARTH MALAK piece. It has almost been finished. It should have been finished today. I just didn't get that extra part. So little signature going down here real quick, and it is going to go up. All right. And that'll do it. Until next time. Well, maybe until next time on this one. Thanks for stopping by. I'm Nate from GCP Comics.